Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for our Metis ecosystem update. We're excited to be with you here today. We're going to talk about our L2 Rollathon winners. So I'll give you a little update on what our L2 Rollathon was with Gitcoin. And then we will move into some updates with the Metis team. And then, of course, we'll get into our Q&A session. So hopefully you've submitted your questions or you have some ready to share in the chats, and we will get to those toward the end of our session today. Just a disclaimer before we get started into the good stuff. Nothing in this presentation is legal or financial advice. We're not encouraging you to do anything with your money at all, just giving you an update on what we're doing here at Metis. So keep that in mind. And then again, we do accept questions and we want to hear from you. So this is not only a chance for us to communicate what we're doing and to give you an update on what we're working on, but it's also an opportunity for you to give us your feedback, to ask us your questions, and to let us know what you need some more clarity on. We do answer these questions at the end of every live stream, but it's best if you submit them in advance. So that way, if we don't have time to get to it at the end of one, we will gather them and answer them in the next one. So the earlier you get those questions in, the more likely we'll be able to answer them soon for you. So scan that little QR code, join our Telegram chat, and give us your questions. All right. So we held a rollathon with Gitcoin. It was like in our spirit of building Layer 2 2022 and supporting open source development. Metis was a core sponsor during the Gitcoin L2 Rollathon. We invited talented developers to build innovative applications on the growing Metis ecosystem, and a total of 16 projects participated in our bounty. The Metis team judged applications based on vision and use case, improving the functionality of DeFi, NFT, and/or DAO applications, and a review of projects' open source code and the usability of each dApp. Today, we have Annalisa from Gitcoin joining us to talk more about the L2 Rollathon, and Pavel will join to announce our winners here in a moment. So the decisions were tough. Let's welcome Annalisa to talk through our criteria and the process to get started.
Sure, of course. Hi, everyone. Well, my name is Annalisa. I'm part of the Gitcoin events team. And for those of you who may not be familiar with what we do at Gitcoin, we're a blockchain-based incentivization layer for open source software. We're essentially a community that aims to build and fund public goods. And we do that through our Gitcoin grants program, which we're going to be running very soon. And then we also do that through hosting hackathons like the L2 Rollathon. So we're very grateful that Metis joined us as a partner for this event. And so shout out to the Metis team and thank you all so much. And especially very excited that the Metis team was able to help support us in empowering our developer community. What else can I say about Gitcoin events? So we started this hackathon because layer 2 ecosystems are going to be, I guess, the next step or the future of Web3. And it is also, I mean, we're focused on building and funding public goods, so it's also good for the ecosystem as well. So on behalf of Gitcoin, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who participated in the L2 Rollathon. And I'm really looking forward to seeing all the projects that you've all built with the Metis ecosystem. So if you're tuning in and you participated in this hackathon, or if you're curious and you want to know more, we hope to partner with Metis in the future in a couple of our upcoming events. And be sure to stay tuned on our website. You can read more about this hackathon and upcoming hackathons on gitcoin.co. Feel free to reach out to us on Twitter or join our Discord, and we're happy to answer any of your questions. So thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, let's get back to our presentation. Thank you, Annalisa. See here, give me my computer just a second to catch up with what we're doing. There we go. Okay. Now we'd like to hand over the stage to Pavel. Pavel is our tech integration lead here at Metis. He's going to review the winners.
Yeah. Thank you, Ashley, and thank you, Annalisa. It was a very I loved going through all the projects. So I went through all the projects alongside with other members of the Metis team. We discussed it internally with the judging criteria that we laid out at the beginning of the rollathon. In terms of all of the projects, everyone that submitted was at least in part built on Metis. They had cool, innovative ideas, and we've chosen 3 winners as per our bounty. So for the categories, for the winners, just announcing the winners, Metis Cloud won first place, Buy Origin second, and Metis Crowdfunding third. I'll go over and explain just each and every single project, just what caught the eye of I guess us and in the Metis team, and as well as what stood out in terms of choosing these specific projects. So I guess if you can go to the next slide. So Metis Crowdfunding was a platform that allowed you to post any type of crowdfunding support. So you come in and you say, hey, I want to start a campaign, and then you can set a minimum amounts that you can contribute to. You can set to, like, it's similar to how Kickstarter works or GoFundMe. So in this case, it's crypto related. So found that fairly neat. The functionality of the site, everything works. Testing out, clicking things, making sure that's, it doesn't allow me to post in any weird data. But so the functionality of the site worked. It's a cool idea. And so definitely a very good contender. If you go to the next slide, Buy Origin is a place where you can register your items in a way where you can verify the authenticity of them. You can have a company register their own profile, get approved by, I guess, a maybe government institution, and then have it so that the company is able to release products that can be attested to. So in this case, if you go to the next slide, there is a QR code. If you scan the QR code and this is what was neat about it. If you scan the QR code, we'll just leave that on for a bit. The pin is 5158, and you scan the QR code, you put in the 5158, and then you basically get the authentic item that is released by whoever. In this case, you get the Metis logo with the model number and the color and whatnot. So I thought that was pretty cool, having an ability to track this, and then the ability to review it with the QR code functionality, and everything works. Everything, you're able to post all the data, you're able to use it, and it's all integrated with that. If you go to the next slide, it just shows you the screen that, in case you don't have a phone, you basically get shown the screen where it's like an authentic version of whatever that you posted on chain. So that was pretty neat. And finally, the winner of the actual the rollathon was Metis Cloud. They posted to other rollathons and hackathons, but at the same time, the amount of functionality, the amount of dedication that this developer has created definitely stands out. So you have tons of functionality in relation to what you can upload. Not only what you can upload, it's also a rating system within there. So you can basically like something, you can hate it. So there's different properties associated with it. Not only that, they've integrated a lot of the governance system as well. So that was an important bit to catch on to, where they outlined a system, and they actually implemented a system where not only you can vote for specific things within the platform, but you can also, if you go to the next slide, you can also vote for, I forgot to change the name. My apologies. That's not Buy Origin. That's Metis Cloud. But in this case, you have your ability to vote for different things, and this is like something that was the whole idea, was that the preference for projects that you're able to interact with and have an easier time to do governance processes as well. So congratulations to Metis Cloud for winning the Rollathon. All right, thank you. I guess that's it for me. Oh yeah, and they have an architecture diagram, which is also very neat. Definitely shows that the future roadmap and plan is meant to expand into other areas. And so this is like a continuation of just the thought process that is involved here. Definite very, very, very good. All right. Yeah, that's everything on my end.
Thanks so much, Pavel. Really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. We're really excited to hear the success of the hackathon. Congratulations to all the winners. You'll receive your bounty rewards this week. So we'll host more developer opportunities in the future, and the team is always available to build with developers interested in our ecosystem. So keep an eye out for future hackathons and bounties, and stay in touch with our developer Telegram group or in Discord. Okay. Thank you so much. Let's move into Metis updates. So once again, if you're new here, Metis is a decentralized economy platform. So whether you're a business, community, or just a user, we offer a scalable way to access blockchain for everybody without sacrificing the security and decentralization of the Ethereum network. So we are a layer 2, and we'll talk a little bit more in our live stream later on kind of how we're evolving from the typical definition of an optimistic rollup into what we're now calling ourselves a smart L2, because we are innovating technology beyond what other L2s in the space are doing. So the use cases for our platform, whether you're a Web 2 business looking to bring some on-chain functionality into your business model, if you're into GameFi or NFTs, if you have a DApp, DeFi platform that you want to share, a launchpad, if you're a freelancer, we're building a network for all of you. So our goal is to make Metis the user-friendly space for newbies and Web3 OGs alike to come on and make the most of our incredible network with cheap fees, lightning fast speeds, and incredible functionality. So we're talking a little bit about technology. I mentioned that we are like kind of updating what we're calling ourselves from an optimistic rollup into a smart L2. So I'm going to invite Elena onto the stage. Elena is our CEO and co-founder, and she's going to share a little bit about how the L2 fees is kind of reclassifying us on their page and what we're doing to communicate with them to make sure that our fee information is communicated with our community.
Thank you, Ashley. Hi, guys. Nice to see you all today. We touched on it during the last live stream because this propped from the community questions of what happened to L2 fees.info because the Metis disappeared from the homepage. So, and yes, like when we went there, yeah, I saw exactly what happened. So they created 2 tabs, rollups and all L2s. And even though it's L2 fees.info, the rollups were the default page, and therefore Metis was not on that. It was on the second tab that actually is hard to find. So I connect to fees. It's actually apparently it's a very small group. It is still, this website is still small, but I wanted to resolve that with them because I don't want to have any miscommunication or misconception about Metis. So I connected to the community, and they stated that yes, they hid Metis on the separate tab because just the fees were extremely low, and that it was kind of out of place a little bit in terms of the other rollups. So that's why they put all the rollups on one page, and then all the L2s, which is actually Metis, because that's the only smart L2 that right now that is not rollup, on the second tab, which is not default. Can you switch to the next slide, please?
Different from this next one.
Let's switch to the next slide, please. Yes, thank you. Yes, so they as a result of all the discussion, they created the forum for their community where the Metis tech was discussed, and the whole two tabs issue was discussed as well. So you can go ahead and actually read that. We're going to be providing QR code for that forum, but these are the all the like highlighted Metis discussion posts that are there. There are many of them. There was lots of questions about the security of it, about how it works, about the 51% attack on the memo labs. All the answers are there. So it was pretty clear. L1, the transaction, the fraud proofs. So
Okay, I'm not sure if it's my connection or Elena's, but I'm having trouble hearing.
Yeah, I think we lost her signal.
Okay. Okay, well, we'll move on then. Here is the QR code if you want to go to that forum that Elena was mentioning. So scan that, and you can join in and read the updates and contribute to the conversation. So be sure that you're able. Oh, Elena, I see you're back.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry, my connection breaking up. So sorry about that. Yes. So yes, please go ahead. Please contribute. And yes, I see that it's very positively resolving now, because the majority of the community is actually for Metis to be on the default page. So which is reasonable. And I'm very glad that it's resolving this way. So we will see the latest updates from L2fees.info soon. But this discussion also prompted us to update and provide more documentation. And for that, if you can please switch to the next slide. For that, we would like to get questions from you for us to provide this documentation that address all the questions from the community. So please scan this QR code and
I think we may have lost her again. Scan the QR code and submit your questions to us about our new updated technology. We do have an article out about how we're transitioning to the smart L2 classification. So if you want to read this to get a little more info before you submit your questions, you can scan this QR code. This is one of our most recent articles, and it has our little Metis girl being guilty because the rumors are true. We're changing the way things are working in the L2 space. Marketing and business development updates. We do have a podcast. It's called The Weekly Wisdom. And our most recent episode was an interview with the lead of our Web2 integrations team. Stefan joined Matt Gunn. He's our head of business development. So the three of us chatted about kind of what we're looking at to bring more Web2 businesses into Web3, the DAC infrastructure that we're building out to support these on-chain enterprise functions, and just a general overview of like what's to come for Metis. So if you haven't already, be sure to tune into that episode and check out the other episodes that we have where we talk about updates from Metis. We talk about different projects that are on the network, and we'll continue to publish episodes as you see fit. So as we see fit, as you have questions about what's going on. So be sure to interact with us on our social channels. Leave us comments, review the podcast, let us know what you want to learn about, and we'll work on getting those together for you. We also have the podcast episodes on YouTube, so you're able to look at the videos, and for some of them, some projects prefer the privacy element, which of course we want to respect, but some of the episodes do have videos along as well, so you can kind of watch everybody contribute to the conversation on our YouTube channel. All right, coming up at Consensus, we will be having a Metis Fest. So it's in Austin, Texas next week. We're really excited. A lot of members from the Metis team are coming down, and we will host our party on June 11th. So Metis Fest is like a combination of panel discussions and learning about what's going on in the space, along with a good time, good music, dancing, a lot of fun. So we'll share more about that event. We'll have like the event shared on our channels very soon, but I'm really excited for Metis Fest in Austin. I also want to give you a heads up that we are co-sponsoring East Toronto. So it'll be August 8th to the 10th in Toronto. There will be a hackathon. It's a free event to enter. So if you want to apply, you can use this little QR code. We're looking for mentors and speakers, hackers. So we have limited space. Make sure you get your application in as soon as possible. All right, and then moving into community ecosystem governance. I just want to give a quick update. We are continually evolving this process. If you are a project that wants to submit a proposal, you can scan this QR code here, which will essentially take you to CandyDAC, where you can upload your proposal, where community members can also see the proposals and interact with them. You'll share a video, which will present in a live stream. It will go up for snapshot vote, and then we'll move forward with connecting you to our ecosystem. So this past week, we had a snapshot vote with Poly Network and Revenant GameFi. Both projects passed almost unanimously. So congratulations to these two projects for becoming community verified projects. And just want to give you a shout out that every Thursday at 11 a.m. Central or Eastern time, we have our Metis ecosystem governance live stream. So you can come on and see the different projects that are going through a vote, and you can learn about what they're doing so that you can make more informed decisions. So that's our update for today. Thank you so much to our guest speaker, Annalisa from Gitcoin, for joining us. And thank you to my team members for hopping on and sharing their updates. We're going to move into Q&A now. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and pull up some questions. All right. Oh, Annalisa says she'll be in Austin. Awesome. We look forward to seeing you there. Please stop by our...
Oh, sorry. I just registered for your event, so I'm looking forward to meeting you all.
Awesome. Yay. That's exciting. So excited to have you there.
Awesome.
Okay. So let me pull up our questions and we'll get through a few of these. Okay. Can we have a search function for the Metis official website, metis.io? Well, we are actually working to revamp our website right now. So earlier this morning, I was actually going through some of the sample web pages that we've been given. So our team is reviewing and working to update the website right now, and a search function is definitely included in our proposed design. So as soon as we put the finishing touches on it, make sure that it is user-friendly and gives all the information that we want to share with our community in an intuitive way, we will of course launch that and share that with you all. So thank you for the suggestion. Can you stake Metis on BS chain yet? Apparently you can do it on Pancake Swap. Pavel, is there anything more to add there, or is that sufficient?
Yeah, you can't stake. Well, since it's on BSC, we don't know the exact ways. Like you can do it on different places on BSC, but yeah, we don't have any recommended ways that we do.
Okay, cool. Let's see. Is Ethereum 2.0 release good for Metis, and why? It is good for Metis. Go ahead, Pavel.
Yeah, so with Ethereum 2.0, there is the merge from proof of work to proof of stake. And as such, when sharding is introduced, there will be a large throughput increase for all layer 2s that are built on top of Ethereum. So this increase will increase the throughput of transactions by a significant amount. So that's why it's good. And the merge, so ETH 2.0 will benefit all L2s in the ecosystem.
Awesome. Thank you. We also have a question about bridging, Pavel. So the question is, are we working to make bridging faster?
Yeah. Sorry, no. Yeah, as an acknowledgement to your question, but no, for the security reasons. So currently there is a 7-day withdrawal delay. That is the reason for being an optimistic rollup, or now we're a smart L2, we still have that withdrawal delay present in order to make that the system more like to be secure under those assumptions. So there is still going to be that 7-day withdrawal delay. There will eventually be a move to decrease it, but currently it will remain as soon as these security assumptions. So this is basically you need to have that delay because of the security of how a optimistic rollup, or in our case, a smart L2 works. So we recommend, if you are transferring, and we don't recommend using just the Metis bridge alone. So there are other third-party bridges that are present within the ecosystem. They are present on the official bridge, so bridge.metis.io, and then you can see all of the bridges that are present in there that were thoroughly reviewed by the Metis team. But unless you're transferring a lot of liquidity to and from the Metis ecosystem, we recommend using the third-party bridges because they are both faster and cheaper than the main bridge. So that's the recommendation.
Awesome. Thank you, Pavel. We have another question here. It says, Metis needs to do a video podcast. And there's a suggestion about discussing Metis as a layer 2 to explain to people and go against hackers who are saying that we're not an L2 anymore. So I'll speak to this one. This live stream kind of serves as a video podcast of sorts where we give updates and answer questions. But we do also have another podcast, and we try to offer video content alongside that whenever possible. We do have to respect the privacy of other guests that we invite onto the projects. And sometimes, given location and time zones and variable internet connections, it's not a good fit to add video to every episode. But we do try to do that when we can for the podcast. And I really appreciate this content idea. We'll definitely be sure that we share some information in an upcoming episode about kind of the evolution of Metis technology and an update on why we're still a layer 2. So we'll share that in a future episode. So thank you for that question. Let's see. Let's go. There's been some questions every week on when updates on the Chainlink integration and what's going to come after the Chainlink integration. So just again, to reiterate, this is kind of a long process. Chainlink has really thorough procedures in integrating to new networks. So we're giving them whatever space and support they need to make sure that they do what they need to do. So we're offering dev support and staying in communication with them. And we will share updates as we can. And as far as like what projects are coming after Chainlink, we're in communications with a lot of them right now, but we try not to count our chickens before they hatch over here. So we're gonna update those and announce those projects as they officially launch and are ready to be shared. Moving into, let's see. Can the team update the community on the status of centralized exchanges integrating the Metis network? Pavel, do you have anything more on that?
In terms of bridges?
It just says like centralized exchanges. Not sure if there's anything else we need to add beyond what you've already said.
Yeah. So in terms of, so we noted the I guess the gap between so when you already have crypto and you want to transfer it, you can use all of the other bridges such as Synapse, Seller, and so on. But of course, if you have fiat and you want to go through a process, you have to go through a centralized exchange, and then that whole process. We are looking at on-ramping platforms to support just direct for that. But right now, we can't say anything related to that integration since it's still in the process. So, of course, we can say that it will, for usability reasons, it is something that we're looking into. But we can't say, that officially on this date at this time. But we are noting that it is part of the priority list, and so we are we'll be sharing more updates as they come.
Thank you, Pavel. What is the reputation power system? So this is something that we're building out and we'll be launching soon, but it's a system we're building to represent on-chain activities. DAOs can create NFT badges to reward community members for contributions and engagement. Users can create an on-chain profile, almost like a social resume. It's going to be a tool to build trust and community. So it's in development right now. We'll be launching soon. Kevin, is there anything else you'd like to add on the reputation power?
Yeah, for Metis, I think reputation power system is a very important component of the overall infrastructure that we are building for Web3 economy. In the Web3, these kind of multi-metaverse, or if you only have a wallet, that is not enough. You will need to build your on-chain profile, have your on-chain reputation power accumulated to represent you as an identity in the Web3 world. So, and I think for Metis, we are building the infrastructure layer, which the apps and users can create your, as Ashley has mentioned, your social NFT, your NFT badge, so to track all the on-chain activities. And I can imagine that a lot of other functionalities of the apps can be developed beyond this reputation power system. We hope to be the basic layer to support this kind of innovation in our coming roadmaps. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Okay, let's kind of find my place here. As far as adding and not making like partnership announcements, we have some updates to the CEG process, but this is kind of an evolving conversation internally right now. I want to see if Kevin would like to speak to that in particular, like us announcing partnerships, or if there's something that we might circle back to.
Yeah, I think we for the I would expect our we have a announcement of our overall plan regarding the CEG. So maybe next week or some other time would be a suitable time. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you. We promise to keep you updated on that. We're continually kind of like reviewing our progress with these new processes and trying to optimize them, and then keep you posted as we update the evolution of how these all work. So we're working with you on that. Thank you for asking questions and staying engaged with us. When staking, once we release our DAC infrastructure, we'll announce some updates for that. So just stay tuned for our updated DAC infrastructure, and that's when we'll be able to share more on staking. Will there be another airdrop? And if yes, what should I do? Okay, so maybe we sometimes airdrop rewards as incentives for participating in voting in our CEG process. So if you want to be eligible for an airdrop, you need to vote in our elections that we hold on Snapshot, elections of sorts. So yeah, just vote, and if we offer an airdrop, then that's what makes you eligible. More questions here. Do we have improvements planned for our Andromeda Explorer? That's a great question. Kevin, any ideas?
Yes, actually, we have a Explorer team working on the improvements and upgrades. So basically, we will not bring Etherscan. We will stick to our current block Scott, this current Explorer, but develop more functionalities. So that is also in the working process.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Okay. So will Metis eventually start posting call data to L1 again? I think this was kind of answered earlier in our presentation when Elena mentioned a little bit more about our updated structure. As being a smart L2, we are still like posting data to L1. So I would recommend like checking out the article that we shared for specific questions on that. And then we'll be sure to produce some more content where we explain this in more detail in the form of a podcast, so you can listen to that. But if anyone on the team wants to speak to that specifically beyond what we've already shared, you're welcome to.
Yeah, I can touch a little bit. So will Metis eventually start posting call data to L1 again? So right now the state roots are posted to L1, and in case of course, like in case of any failure or anything like that, so the sequencer has access to this data. So therefore, those who do fraud proofs, they request data from the sequencer, and sequencer will post the call data to L1 in that case as well. So the memo labs and decentralized storage exists for so those who do the fraud proofs don't need to request this data from the sequencer all the time. So this is for that purpose. I hope this clears it out. In the future, again, it is very, very easy to switch back and forth between smart L2 and being optimistic rollup. So it is like it can happen momentarily. So yes, in the future, if we need to switch, for example, back to optimistic rollup and posting full call data to L1, it can be done in no time.
Awesome. Thank you, Elena. So there are a few questions that I think have come up like multiple times that we've had from previous ones. So I'm just going to review some of those that have come back to our attention in case anyone has missed a previous live stream. we have a question about appealing. How do we appeal to builders? Excuse me. And what does that look like? So we do have a builder rewards program. So versus, in some places we'll offer just like a one-time grant to a project. And at Metis, we're really looking to build like a collaborative ecosystem that is sustainable so that we're supporting projects in the long run. So our builder incentive program offers rewards every month based on transaction volume. So that's how we try to incentivize builders to build on Metis and to work together to collaborate for those transactions. As far as what we are doing, let's see. Somebody asked about collaborating for building on Metis. So if you have questions and you want to get in touch with our team, I would recommend getting into our Discord and Telegram groups and connecting with us there. Okay, other questions? Thank you for your patience while I read this tiny font on a spreadsheet. Let's see. Would like to know when Ranger and Verifier applications will be open again. Kevin, can you speak to that?
For the verifier, actually we the current verifier is around 83 verified nodes. I think this at the current stage is pretty enough for now. But it might be open from time to time, so please stay tuned, and we will announce when these verify nodes application open. Yeah.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, I feel like we've answered most of these here. Okay, I think that is all. I see one here in the chat. On the Explorer, can you add token approval revoke? I'm not really sure what that question means. Not enough verbs there.
I believe we have a application enabled to revoke.
You can use revoke.cash or dbank. Dbank also supports it. So you can go through their interfaces directly.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, please ask additional questions if you didn't understand the answer. So yeah, and I'm not sure if we touch on the Agora DeFi question here. Because,
yeah. Any update on a recovery program for Agora?
Okay, yeah, I am trying to get in touch with Agora team. So if Agora team is listening to this live stream, can you please respond to my tweets and to my DM messages on Twitter and also in Telegram as well. Yeah, so we would like to, I would like to at least because relay some of the community messages to you in terms of the possible ways to recover, and so would like to see what we can do together. But if Agora team cannot contact us, I mean, we cannot help. And you have to understand, the whole community have to understand this, that the projects on Metis are all third party, right? And they all independent teams as well. Metis provides the platform, but it is up to our CG program now to define who get provided the support of the community. But yeah, anyway, so this is the issue that existing with all decentralized system. So if it's decentralized, then we cannot expect that there is some central authority or the party that's going to take care of it all. So it is the community that decides. And yes, right now community would like to speak to Agora, but unfortunately we cannot provide that connection just yet because Agora is not like stop responding to, for example, to me and to the team as well. Hopefully this is just a temporary glitch. Once they respond, we set up the meeting. I will let you know, guys.
Thank you, Elena. There was one more question on a lending platform on Metis, and actually, I think last week or the week before, Tender Finance just went through our CEG process, and they are a lending platform on Metis. So Tender Finance is available for borrowing and lending. I think that may be all of them. Yeah, I think that we covered everything. So if there are any other questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. Otherwise, reach out to us in our Telegram, on our Discord. We'll gather those questions and be sure that we answer them for you in next week's live stream. Just want to thank everybody once again for joining, for tuning in, for sending us your questions. Thanks to my team for collaborating on answering and for sharing those updates. And thank you again to Annalisa from Gitcoin for joining us. And we're really looking forward to seeing you in Austin.